Listen to me. I'm gonna ask you one time nicely. I need your clothes, your boots, your motorcycle. I need your clothes, your boots, your motorcycle. I need your clothes, your boots, your motorcycle. I need your clothes, your boots, your motorcycle.
Okay, I'd like to speak to the real Arnold.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. This is great. I'm just sitting here, smoking around in my Speedos. Yeah, exactly.
So what is it like to go from the Last Action Hero to Governator to Metal God with Austrian Death Machine?
Well, first of all, I was a bodybuilder, and then, of course, I was, big movie star, and then, the governor of California. But, I thought to myself, what can I do next? How can I top myself? And, of course, death metal's the only way to go. So I called Tim Lambesis and said, hey, you idiot, I want to do, your stupid album. He says, all right. I said, I will crush you if you do not let me. And I will sue you, too. I told him, I said, I will sue you because, you're using my face, you idiot, and all that. So, yeah, it's fantastic. People love it. It's great.
Right. I know that Austrian Death Machine has played live a few times. Have you been able to get on stage with Timmy, or are you too busy governating?
No, listen, I have too many things to do. I don't have enough time to be going around with that girly man. But, they have somebody else that puts on a mask or whatever and pretends to be me. But, of course, nobody can replace me. There's only one Arnold. So, but, yeah, I'm on the album, but I'm not on the touring and all that or whatever.
Right, cool. So how much preparation work did you have to do for Double Brutal, or was a lot of the material unscripted and you just worked out it in the studio with Timmy?
Yeah, most of the material in it, the bits and all that was scripted, but, sometimes I would throw in my own jokes and, little things here and there, like when I was singing the T-theme song, that was all my jokes, people would laugh at that, and, of course, there's another part in the album where I'm talking about Mars, and remembering Mars and how I was up there and all that. And, these are all my jokes, because I'm funny. I said, Timmy, what is this crap? I cannot work with this, But listen, it's fantastic. I love making the jokes, and, we had a great time recording it. We went in for a whole day, and we spent recording, and I was screaming. And by the end, I could not talk. And Maria was very happy about that, because finally I didn't have anything to say. It was great.
Right. So is there any favorite songs or scripts on the new album that, you like to listen back to that you still find funny, or?
Well, I would say that my most favorite is Who Told You You Could Eat My Cookies? I mean, that is just it's a great tune, and, it was a lot of fun to do that one. But also, I like the first track on the first disc, where they had this kid who won the contest to sound like me. And, he, of course, he tries his best and everything. But I get on the phone, I tell, they call him a girly man and all that. And for me, that felt great, because there are so many Arnold people out there that try to do the voice of Arnold, and they're terrible. They think they're good, but they're terrible. And so I get on the phone and say that's the most fun, because, it lets everybody know this is the real Arnold, not this fake crap. This is the real deal.
Right. So if you took Arnold out of Austrian Death Machine, what do you think that would be left?
What would be left is a total girly man. You would have Tim Lambesis with his long hair, he'd be trying to sing and all that, and people would say, you idiot, where's Arnold? Because Arnold, when you think about death metal now, you think about Arnold, because, Arnold is brutal, with all the pumping the iron and the sword and, the riddle of steel and crom and all that. That's all part of, death metal or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I'm making it all up.
Right. So if you could be in any other metal band, is there any other band you think you could, bring them to the next level?
What the hell is the matter with you? Absolutely not. There's no better metal band than Austrian Death Machine, because they're totally brutal. All the rest are imposters. I will take my sword and I will cut the head off of all the other girly men metal bands out there. The only one you need is Austrian Death Machine because they're fantastic.
So if you could be in a metal band with any other action hero, would you want to be, or would you pick one, or you're?
Well, I mean, I think that, I don't know, I mean, I thought about maybe Stallone. Maybe we would get together, but the problem with Stallone is nobody can understand a goddamn word that he says. I mean, in that it would work because maybe it would be good for him, I don't know. But, you have to be somewhat intelligible or whatever, but he has marbles in his mouth, but maybe, I don't know.
Right. Some say crime is rampant in our schools. So, would you suggest that maybe the schools could use a kindergarten cop?
Absolutely. And if you cannot afford it, get a sword. I mean, I think that all the teachers should have giant swords with them. And if the kids get out of hand or the criminals or whatever, just chop their heads off or their legs. You don't have to kill them, of course. But I mean, a sword is very important. I mean, we should have guns and all that. No. Guns are for pussies. Get a sword.
It has been said that you have a great memory. Is that accurate? Or is it just all true lies?
I would tell you, but I cannot remember.
I believe in the movie Running Man, a quote was, "You're not into politics, you're into survival." So if you had to up that today, would it be, "I'm not into politics, I'm into metal"?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I'm definitely still not into politics. Politics is a total pain in the ass. I made a big mistake becoming the governor of California, and I regret it every day. I've got one more year left. I cannot wait. But I'm totally into metal now. I play it at the state capitol, and anytime I have meetings and legislate and all that with the budget, all that, I will play death metal music just to piss everybody off. All the Democrats, they will run out of the room. It's fantastic, like girly men.
I know when you were campaigning before, I believe you used some Twisted Sisters for some of your entrance music. Do you think if you were campaigning again, you'd be able to use some Austrian Death Machine? And what song would you pick?
Absolutely, of course, because, the next step, of course, after governor is to become the the president of the United States. And, I will play, all kinds of songs. I think I Need Your Clothes, Your Boots, and Your Motorcycle will become my official theme song, in that case. Because, people would stand and go, "Oh, my God, what is this music? We better pay attention to this guy, or else, he will kick our ass."
Right, and you probably kick their ass anyway.
Exactly, and I also think Obama could use a death metal theme song. Because, really, that guy puts me to sleep.
So what would be the next goal for Arnold? Would it be, complete world domination or president of the world, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I want to be the Führer, sorry, I keep doing that, the president of the United States, and eventually the emperor of the universe. Forget the Earth, because there's other planets and all that. There's Mars, I think they've got, robots on there now or whatever. And then, of course, the other thing is we just bombed the moon. I told everybody years ago, I told Howard Stern, I said, we're going to bomb the moon, you idiot, because nobody needs it. And now what do? They're starting to bomb the moon.
Yes.
So we need to get rid of the moon, and I will become emperor of the universe. It'll be fantastic.
So what closing words would you have for any fans of metal who maybe haven't heard Austrian Death Machine yet? What do you think you would tell them to try to convince them to listen to, the greatest band ever?
I would say if you have not heard Austrian Death Machine, then the hell with you. I would turn my head to the sky. I would say, Crom, why do these people disappoint me, Crom? No, I would say, listen, if you have not bought the album, you're a total girly man, and I will crush you with the heel of my boot, and I will take my stogie and burn your eyes out, you idiot. Go now to the store or the iTunes or whatever the hell it is and get this album. Yeah, you can get the first one, it's great, right? But the second one is better because I'm on it, you idiot. Exactly.
So the last question for Arnold will be, many of your movies have so many metal themes in it. If it bleeds, we can kill it, and the riddle of steel, like you already mentioned. What came first? Arnold, the metal attitude, or were you into metal before that, and this just flowed from that?
Yeah, I think that, like I said, I think metal and Arnold go together. I think it was during Conan when my father, there's a scene in the movie where my father with a big beard and all that. He's telling me the riddle of steel, he's telling me all that. And, well, I think, there's a scene in Conan where somebody says to me, Conan, what is best in life? And I say, to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women. That's total metal right there. I've been doing metal or steel or whatever you want to call it, aluminum. I mean, I don't know what substance it is, but I've been doing this, 30 years now. So yeah, metal is in my blood. It's in my life. I eat it. I sleep it. I live it.
All right. Well, thanks for speaking to me, Arnold.
Absolutely.
Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So this is Josh Robert Thompson, the man behind Arnold, and as I understand it, a number of other voice impersonations that I've seen on YouTube and places that you do, like Morgan Freeman and Stallone and a few others.
Yeah. I mean, I'm this album, Double Brutal, is actually very cool for me because I'm a professional voice actor. I've been working for a number of years as a voice actor, and also I'm on the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. I've been on there for 4 seasons on CBS. So this album was kind of a nice way for people to finally get to know my work, and I think it's really helped me out a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I guess it's opened up new fans like myself who might not have heard of you, because my blinders are on and everything. My world is metal almost, except for, of course, Arnold movies, and that's metal anyway. So I guess there's been a lot of people probably that just picking up on you now as a result of doing these kinds of things.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I did Howard Stern for many years. That's like the thing that got me my start. I would call into the Howard Stern show as fake Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
But people didn't know my name. They didn't know who I was. And so definitely, Double Brutal has opened my world a bit to a lot of other fans, which has been great.
Right. So how did Timmy find out about you and get you on the album and stuff?
Well, Tim apparently was a big fan of my work on the Howard Stern show, and I guess had seen me on the Late Late Show, and he was having a contest. He was trying to find somebody, like a fan, who would appear on the album. And in the description of his contest, he actually wrote, which was very complimentary to me, he wrote, don't try to be like Josh Robert Thompson because he's the best Arnold, in the world or something. And I read that and thought, wow, who the hell is this guy? That's really nice. And anyway, he sent me an email and said, listen, I'm doing a new album and would love to have you come on as Arnold, because I think your Arnold is one of the most realistic that there is. And that's really how it got started.
Yeah, when I first heard Double Brutal, I was like, wow, the Arnold voice has gotten so much better. Who's doing the voice? And the cat wasn't out of the bag right away with, they didn't announce who was the...
strange, because I know Chad Ackerman did the voice on the first album, and Chad did a great job. Chad was doing what most people do, which is a real caricature of Arnold. And admittedly, on Double Brutal, I was still doing a little bit of a character, because normally I play it very straight. And surprisingly, I got a lot of criticism at first from the fans. Not all of them, but there were a lot that didn't quite know what to make of it, because people actually prefer the goofy, over-the-top Arnold, and that's something I've kind of wrestled with for the last decade. But I think eventually everybody, seemed to warm up to the album, which has been really good. And Tim was nice enough to, on his, on the Austrian Death Machine MySpace page and some other places, finally just kind of let everybody know who I am and that it's not, Chad Ackerman or somebody else, but it's a new guy, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, very cool. Have you gotten much interest in terms of, like, the media, like myself, wanting to speak to Arnold as opposed to Tim and talk about, the album and stuff?
Yeah, well, I've been doing a lot of interviews, definitely in the wake of the release of the album. And again, you have to remember, I've been doing this for about 10 years, and every time I do a radio interview or any kind of interview, I always do it usually as Arnold or one of my other characters first, and then kind of let the cat out of the bag. But definitely talking like Arnold a lot more lately in the last couple of weeks. So it's pretty fun.
When did you, first realize that you had this gift of, being able to mimic people and sound just like them?
Probably when I was a little kid. I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and I used to have this like Fisher-Price tape recorder. I just watched TV and cartoons all the time, and just repeat stuff into the tape recorder. I mean, I was an only child, so I had nothing else to do, and I would do my own radio shows, and I would like radio plays, and I would play all of the characters. I would do the voices of everybody. And when it came to Arnold, the first time I heard the Conan the Barbarian DVD commentary is when I started to do Arnold. I started to study how Arnold talked on that commentary, and I realized he does not speak the way that most people think he does. Most people quote him from movies and stuff, and they do this thing with their throat that sounds like they need to clear their throat, or they got a bubble in their throat or something. And anyway, so I studied that for many years and perfected it, and that's why I'm here today. So.
Right. Cool. And as a fan of music, I guess, is metal something that you personally have been interested in as well?
I've certainly listened to metal, but no, I would not say that I'm, a huge fan of it. I mean, I don't dislike it at all. It's just not something I've listened to a lot. But I will tell you that because of working on the album and the interviews I've done and the different websites and the different things I've been exposed to, I'm kind of into it now. It's pretty good. But I really do, and not to be biased, but I really do like the music on Austrian Death Machine. It's actually quite fun. It's a nice mix of. They don't take themselves too seriously, I think, which is what I like about it.
No, I think the joke is just that it's completely over the top all the time, on 11 kind of thing. Yeah. Well, as in the media, I hear a lot of new releases, and you get bombarded with so many things that sound the same, and then boom, you hear this, and there's a guy talking like Arnold. Immediately, I was just like dying laughing at the album, and that's why I listened to it several times, like as opposed to the other 100 releases that came out that in the past couple months, kind of thing.
Yeah, so I think that's what appeals to me about it, is because there are so many projects out there and things I get asked to do. When I went and listened to the first album before I recorded with Tim, I listened to it just to kind of make sure. Well, what's this all about? Because there's some bands out there that aren't that great, and this was definitely a professional outfit, and obviously, he's got As I Lay Dying, and so the guy knows what he's doing, and it's a hell of a mix of humor and really good music. So it's good stuff.
Has there been any talk about you doing a video with him, or any other work outside of what you've already done on the album, or?
No, not at this point. I mean, we talked about it briefly during the actual recording session. Maybe having me pop up at a couple of shows, here and there. But for right now, we're just kind of enjoying the success of the album. So in the future.
Right. Cool. Well, is there anything else going on in your world right now that maybe some of your fans who are not so up on maybe what you've done with Austrian Death Machine might like to hear about?
Well, I mean, I do a lot of work for video games, which people probably don't know about. And I guess if you're a fan of death metal, it seems to equate to playing video games where guys are shooting a lot of people. So if you've ever played Call of Duty, World at War, or we've got the upcoming Final Fantasy 13, there's a whole bunch of video games that I'm in that I do voices for. I just did Command and Conquer 4, I think. But if you go to my website, joshrobertthompson.com, there's links to all that stuff, and you can check out my IMDb page. And, I'm always doing video games, always working on video games, always doing the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, and doing a lot of stand-up as well. So, definitely keeping busy on that end.
Right, cool. Well, man, thank you for your time. I know you're a busy guy, and it was great to speak to Arnold first. And hopefully we get to see you again on the next Austrian Death Machine album. That'd be great.
Yeah, I would love it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, all the best to you.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah, this is great, yeah. Mars, right? Yeah, apparently I've been there before, but I don't recall. Yeah, you get it? It's a good one. My construction buddy, he looks like Mr. Whipple. He told me that I blabbed about Mars. I would love to go there with the little green man and all that. One time I was there, I remember my eyes popped out and I went, what? Shut up, you idiot. Maria, get him the hell out of here. I blabbed about Mars.